What them we're reading or
What are we reading? We're reading the Prīti Sandarbha. It's one of the six Sandarbha books. It's the last one in the series of Jiva Goswami. He's a nephew of Rupa Goswami, who is one of the great
wow.
associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so I'm going to start. Let's see here.
Because I know I trying to think the hierarchy and the education. You said the undergrad would be the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam grad school, and then post grad school, the PhD would be what did you say? It was
Well, the PhD, the postgraduate is Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this is actually kind of like the postgraduate stuff right here, but it's all
ah.
nectar. I mean, Prabhupada published a Krishna book because
Mhm.
he didn't know if he was going to live long enough to finish the Srimad Bhagavatam. The 10th canto deals with Krishna's pastimes exclusively. And so he wrote the Krishna book, which is a summary, like a prose rendition of the 10th canto, just to include Krishna's pastimes in there because of course, he didn't finish the whole Bhagavatam. He actually went back to Godhead before the 10th canto was completed. But he
Oh,
he did the Krishna book, beautiful two-volume uh, version of the that he published in 1970 with the help of George Harrison, one of the Beatles, gave him $100,000 to print that book, first
very
print.
nice.
Yeah, he was a great soul. He was a devotee. Prabhupada said George Harrison did more to spread Krishna consciousness than a lot of his sannyasis did.
Mm.
So we're going to start reading here. I'll read the first page and then you can read the second page, okay? Once
All
you see.
right. Yep. Sounds good.
Can you see that on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Yep.
I'm going to read the first page. We're just going to read the English. We're not going to read the Sanskrit verses.
Okay.
Anuccheda 201. Now separation of the Ashraya Bhakti devotee will be discussed. O lotus-eyed Lord, when you go to Hastinapur of Raja to see your friends, one moment becomes like a trillion years for us who belong to you and who become like eyes without the sun. Srimad Bhagavatam 111.9. The influence of separation of the citizens of Dvarka is evident in their words. Similarly, the inhabitants of Raja say, with cheerful face, the master of the cowherds, moving with the grace of a regal elephant, like the rising moon in the evening, returns in the evening, relieving the cows of Raja from the pain experienced during the day. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-25. So you can read the rest of the page here.
Okay.
The old and young cows.
Yep. The old and young cows left in Braja. Is it? It's with a B, right? Braja?
It's either way, Raja or Braja.
Braja. Braja. Okay. Left in Braja feel pain during the day. What to speak of the humans?
Even the cows were feeling separation from Krishna
Oh, wow.
because
Me?
Krishna would be out and the cows, he would be tending the calves usually with his when he was young
Oh, yeah. And like
our
playing
boyfriend,
with them and
and
stuff.
he would leave, and all the cows would be feel separation from Krishna during the day. And so, what to speak of humans? You can read the rest of this page here.
Okay. Uh, Meeting after the separation called
Tushti.
Tusti is described for the people of Dwarka. Arriving at his own prosperous city of Dwarka, Krishna allaying the suffering of the inhabitants blew the best of conch shells?
You know what Krishna's conch shell's name is?
Start with an S.
No, it's Panchajanya.
I'm sure. Ah, okay.
Panchajanya is the name of his conch shell. It was transcendental conch shell. They blew all kinds of conch shells before the Battle of Kurukshetra.
Oh yeah,
The Kurus and the
remember that.
Bhishma Dev, he blew his conch shell. It was uproarious, but then Krishna and Arjuna blew his transcendental conch shells. And even though there wasn't any heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas when Bhishma Dev, who was the greatest warrior, blew his conch shell very loudly. But when Krishna blew his conch shell and Arjuna, the hearts of the Kurus broke because they knew that they were going to lose. So you can read that last sentence there, the word Eva.
The word Eva is here merely ornamental. Sutta speaks.
Okay, you can go on and read the next two sentences too. This is Anuccheda 202.
Okay. How do you say it? The verse above Srimad Bhagavatam in the parentheses, like the numbering and the periods.
Oh, Srimad Bhagavatam, like what? The last one after and the last sentence there, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21:10. It's Canto 10, Chapter 21, verse 10. But it's you just say Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21:10. Is that what you mean? Or
Okay.
Anuccheda 202? Which one are you talking about?
I was talking about the one above it, the 111
Srimad
1.
Bhagavatam 111:1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first canto, 11th chapter, first verse, 111:1. The first it goes canto, chapter and verse.
Okay. Canto is respectively the volume, right?
No, it's actually the whole canto usually has at least one volume
Ah,
like there's two or three volumes. There's two volumes in the first canto. They're big books too. And in the third canto, I think there's three volumes, but some cantos only have one volume. But
ah,
depends on the length of the purports and stuff. But it
okay.
depends on the print because some versions like are on the smaller versions they'll have 40 volumes, 40 books in one Srimad Bhagavatam because it's 18,000 verses with purports.
Ah,
So you can read
so, yep.
Anuccheda to the first and second verse there.
So, in the previous verse about the people of Braja and separation, a meeting is also evident at the end of the day. The gopis express the joy of the inhabitants of Braja on being with Krishna. Oh, friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the. Did I say it right?
Yeah,
Vrindavana.
Vrindavan. You just disappeared. / logged off.
Yeah. Technology. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's to err is human, but it takes a computer to really screw things up sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's just continue here. I just you can read the last two sentences, the last sentence actually. O
Okay.
friend Vrindavan,
Oh, friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devki, with peacocks dancing madly when they hear Govinda's flute, with all other creatures remaining stunned on top of the hills as they watch the dancing. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 21st chapter, verse 10.
correct.
Cool.
O girls, this son of Nanda who gives joy to the distressed bears motionless lightning on his chest and has an attractive smile. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-4. Dasya Bhakti. Now, Dasya Bhakti Mayaras will be discussed. The Alambana is Krishna. The shelter is Dasya Bhakti appearing as the master. The Adharas are his servants attractive to him who participate in his pastimes. Dasya means servant. Krishna has the form of the Supreme Lord and with human form has previously analyzed for the Palyas. There are two types of devotees based on these conceptions of the Lord. They are divided into three types: those who tend his body, attendants, and servants. Those who tend his body are those who massage him, offer those who offer betel, cloth, and scents. The attendants are advisors, chariot drivers, commanders of armies, justice ministers, direct supervisors, and those who by skill and knowledge, etc., enliven the assembly. Since priests are predominant elders, they are included in the category of gurus, elders, but their attendants parshadas in part. The servants are horsemen, foot soldiers, and craftsmen. Generally, those who tend his body are dearest, and parshadas are next, followed by servants. Uddhava, Daruka, and others who are parshadas have also have excellent bodily service. They surpass all others. Uddhava is the best. Go ahead.
Could we actually go back to that page? I was trying to, uh, yeah, visualize it. So let's see. Alam, Bana, Krishna. Let's see. Garas are servants. And form.
Yeah, but dasyam, there's four, five different kinds of rasa with Krishna.
Hmm.
There's the Shanta Bhakti. That means like the cows and people or the inanimate creatures like the cows, they have like a or a mood of like on reverence. They don't have any servant relationship, but Dasya Bhakti means servants.
Hmm.
And these are different types of servants. Those who tend to Krishna's body, like if he gets tired, they'll massage his feet, they'll give him some, they'll fan him or something. And then there's other attendants, and palayas or parshadas, which are a little bit more intimate. But the personal servants, the ones that do bodily service for Krishna, you know, massage his body or offer him betel nut or fan his body when he's tired. That those are most intimate. But Uddhava is the best servant. He's actually exactly like Krishna. In fact, he didn't
Ah,
age. Uddhava was the same age as Krishna, but he didn't age. When Krishna left his body, he was the age of a he looked like a teenager, like 16 or 18 years old. But Uddhava
wow.
was the same. He was 125 years old when he left his body after Krishna did. So but he didn't age. Okay,
Ah,
go ahead and read this
yep.
page.
Thank you for the help in understanding that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just one type of service,
Right.
There's a servant, the neutral relationship called Shantaras. Dasiras is a servant. Then you can be a friend, and then you can be a parent of Krishna, and then you can be a conjugal lover like the gopis of Krishna.
Ah, yes.
And so there are different levels, and we don't know who we are. Well, everybody's got a relationship with Krishna, but that relationship, just like we were talking about before, uh, that is revealed by hearing. When you get an attraction toward Krishna, then you hear about his pastimes, and then you want to be like the devotees who are serving him in a particular way. You're attracted to those devotees, and you kind of hear about them, and you're following them through the hearing, and then you become like them. And by following those devotees, you become like them, and you develop that relationship with Krishna, and that is all revealed in due course of time. It depends on what you're attracted to and who you're following.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we're all like following the gopis ultimately. It goes
Ah,
there's a verse that says Gopi Bar tu pada kamalayor das das anadas. We're the servants of the servants of the servants of the gopis who are serving Krishna. Because Krishna's gopis are the best servants. They love Krishna more than even themselves, and they had no personal motive. They were completely selfless. All right, so go
yeah.
ahead and keep reading
Yep.
here.
O beloved of the Yadu dynasty, because you are my servant, well-wisher, and friend, I shall now speak to you to listen well the supreme secret. Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 11th chapter, 49th verse. The Uddipanas are the same as those of Ashraya Bhakti, particularly for the servers of the body. The qualities are beauty and softness of his body. The activities are sleeping, eating, etc. The objects are articles suitable for his service and his remnants. Among the attendants, the qualities are his power as king, etc. Among the servants, the qualities are majesty, etc. The Una Bhavas, say it right?
Anubhavas.
Anubhavas, okay, are, as previously mentioned, in union, they engage in their duties. At the time of service, they lament when they shiver or become stunned. Their special quality is absorption in their duties. Trembling, etc., are common to all and stronger uh, than Palias. Is that how we say it? Palias?
Oh, where you're in the middle of the poly,
Yeah,
polyas,
third,
polyas. The
third
A with an over the slash over it is polyas.
Palias. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Um, One can draw similar conclusions in other rasas also. Even in separation, they seek to do service or they serve deities of the Lord. The Vya-
Vyabhichari bhavas.
Vyabhichari Bhavas are as previously described. The
Stai.
Stai is called Dasya Bhakti. It is predominated by Aishwar, Aishwarya
Gyan.
Gyan in Akrura and others. In Uddhava, though Aishwarya Gyan is present, Madhurya Gyan, in Uddhava, though Aishwarya Gyan is present, Madhurya Gyan predominates.
Sthayi bhava means continuous bhava. So I'm going to explain some of these terminologies here.
Okay.
Udipana is like a stimulus for ecstatic love. It says the udipanas are the same as those of Ashraya Bhakti. Ashraya means a shelter. Um, it means devotion to the refuge. Like Ashraya means shelter. And Dasya Bhakti, of course, is the servant
Servant.
attitude. Vyabhichari Bhakti, uh, Vyabhichari, um, let me look it up here. Vyabhichari Bhakti. Uh, it's a it's a type of devotion. Oh, okay. Anyway, those different kinds of bhaktis, and you can get the gist of it just from hearing, like what the different moods are. You can go ahead and read the last two paragraphs here.
Okay. The people of Braja have only
Madhurya.
their Madhurya. Their Madhurya. Their Prīti is Bhakti Maya because of the presence of reverence. They see him as the son of the king of the cowards with great powers and qualities. Akrura, Densa, Krishna, and Balarama in the village of Raja, going to milk the cows. Krishna wore yellow garments, Balaram blue, and their eyes resembled autumnal lotuses. Srimad
Autumnal
Bhagavatam
lotuses are
10th
beautiful
canto.
white lotuses. They bloom in the
Okay.
in the autumn. Yeah, it says the people of Raja, the general mass population, they see him as the king of the cowherds. All the general population of Raja. Of course, they all love Krishna. That's the main thing.
And those
Although,
are is that the general population of devotees, Prabhuji?
yeah, they're all devotees. Everybody loves Krishna in Vrindavan. Krishna is the only. They don't know he's God though. They have a tinge of
Ah,
the reverence because they think he's like the king of the cowherd village. But in Dvarka, he was actually a king, or he was a prince, and so they knew him as his relative, as their relatives, and he was like a prince with all kinds of armies and subjects and everything. And of course, in Braja, he had his relationship with the cowherd boys and girls and his parents, and of course, he was most intimate with Yashoda and Nanda because they're the ones that raised him from childhood. Whereas Vasudeva and Devaki, he they Devaki gave birth to him in the prison cell of Kamsa. So they were kind of like they missed out on all of his childhood pastimes. But then Krishna went to Dwarka and you know kind of like gave himself to his other parents, his so-called birth parents. He's actually unborn, he doesn't really appear like an
oh,
ordinary human
yes.
because he's like he he doesn't take birth or die. He manifests actually. It's like an immaculate conception in the Christian tradition. He appeared in the heart of Vasudeva, and then he appeared in the heart of of Devaki, and or in the mind first, and then in the heart, and then she gave birth to Krishna. But
Yes. So,
when she was pregnant with Krishna, all the demigods knew that she was going to have Krishna as her son, and so they were all like crowding around the prison, inside the prison, and and she looked like a she was glowing, like sometimes women who are pregnant they glow, but she was like she's holding Krishna, and so it was like, but she was in prison, so it was compared it to like a lamp that was in a pot that couldn't, that couldn't illuminate anything because she was in the prison.
So it was like just one thing quickly,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. So yeah, I remember hearing unborn and eternal. So Krishna, by uh, his material energy, Maya, he appeared. He seemed to appear in the womb of Divki,
Yeah.
although that in reality that wasn't the
No, he
case.
actually appeared in the womb of Devaki and was born just like an ordinary child, but he appeared outside the room when he was born in four-handed form with full with all the symbols of Vishnu with four hands, with a helmet and the club and the mace and lotus flower and a discus in the prison cell. And she was worried because if she, she knew that Kamsa was trying to, Kamsa had killed all of her other daughters, all of her other sons, the six sons of Devaki that were born before Krishna.
Right.
One after another, he smashed them on the rocks because he didn't know he wasn't going to take any chances. He thought that any one of these children could be Krishna, and he knew he had the voice from the sky uh, said, he was driving them home from the wedding, we were on the chariot, and the voice from the sky, the unembodied voice, said, "Kamsa, you're such a fool. You're driving this woman." But you don't know that the eighth son of this child will kill you. And so he, being a demon, he didn't even care. He immediately drew his sword and was going to cut her head off. And so Vasudev, he knew, I mean, that the voice in the sky was probably correct, but still he had to act like it was all up to him, but depend on Krishna. So he tried to reason with him, and he gave him so many different arguments and kind of like was talking to him philosophically. And then he knew. Uh, then he actually convinced him to stop with his heinous deed of killing this woman who was his sister right after she got married on the chariot. Right, he was going to kill her right there. And he said, all right, don't worry about it. If there's any children born to her in the future, I will give them to you, and you can do with them whatever you want. And so because people back then were very, very true to their word, Kamsa believed him, even though he was a demon. He knew that Vasudeva was very true to his word because people like that behaved like that. Nobody's true to their word nowadays, but back then everybody was very truthful and stuck to their promises. And so he let him go. He let her go, and they went home, and you know. But then his demon friends got around him and said, you never know. And so actually Narada Muni came to him because Narada Muni's kind of a troublemaker.
Oh
He's a
yes.
transcendental spaceman.
Uh,
He flies around all over the universe and causes trouble because he wanted the Krishna to appear as soon as possible. So he said, look, Krishna is taking birth, and all the demigods are taking birth in the family. And so you better prepare, you better get your act together because, your time is coming here. And so him and his ministers set out with a plan to kill all the children in the area, and so he didn't know where he was because he took birth, and he switched child Krishna out in the middle of the night and brought him across the Yamuna River and replaced the girl child that Yashoda had given birth to with the male child Krishna. And Yashoda was very tired and from childbirth, and she didn't realize that if it was a boy or a girl. And but then he went back, and to the prison house. His shackles fell off, and all the prison guards went to sleep. I mean, it was like mystic power, and when he went across the river, it was a raging river because it was a storm out. But Anantadev put his hoods over Krishna so it wouldn't get wet, and part the waters parted, and so they could make safe passage. But then, Vasudev came back and to the prison house and shackled himself, and then Kamsa came and saw that that he had given birth again. That was the eighth child, and Yashoda was pleading with Kamsa. He said, "No, no, this isn't a boy. This is a girl. Please don't kill this girl. You're supposed to be killed by a boy." And so Kamsa didn't care. So he took the girl who was actually was Maya Devi, was Subhadra, was a incarnation of Yoga Maya, and he was going to dash her on the rocks, a newborn baby from Yashoda, and she flew out of his hands and appeared with 8 arms in the sky. And he said, "Kamsa, you're such a fool. The child is already born somewhere else." And so Kamsa sent he was, after he didn't know where he was, he was kind of bewildered because, all the demons worship Yogamaya, and he was like really humbled by the presence of this goddess who appeared in the sky after he tried to kill her. She flew up into the sky and resumed her original form of 8 arms with different weapons, and chastised him like that. And so he was humbled and he let Vasudeva and Devaki go. But then he got together with his demon friends, and he decided to kill all of the children in the surrounding villages within a certain radius. And it's the same story as, if you're familiar with the Christian tradition, the story of King Herod. King Herod, Jesus was considered to be the king of the Jews, right? And that was foretold as well, and by the three wise men, and they were astrologers actually, and Kamsa knew that, and he was afraid of losing his position as king of the Jews, so he wanted to kill all of the children under 2 in his area, and so they sent out death squads. So it's like an amazing similarity, because these demons, they don't want to be they want to maintain their position, and they're very afraid of any kind of alternate authority besides themselves. They think they're God, and they're extremely envious of anybody else that threatens to take their position.
Oh, yeah.
So the
Makes,
thing is, like the demons, uh, uh, there's so many similarities. I mean, Krishna was born in a very humble village of cowherd men and women, and Christ grew up in this fishing villages, very humble beginning too. So the similarities are very they're very striking. I actually
oh, yeah.
made a pamphlet and a video. Actually, I'll send it to you. I make videos, and I pass this little pamphlet out that I passed out at a Christian or Christmas parade, or like a um, Christmas festival in up north of here, and the devotees were there as well with a little booth. But they were doing kirtan and stuff. But that's what I do. I sometimes I write stuff and then make a pamphlet out of them, and then I make a video, and because nobody reads anymore and nobody listens to audiobooks. I mostly read audiobooks, but sometimes I make videos out of the audiobooks that I read and put like captionings in it and different pictures and stuff. And so that, people are addicted to TikTok videos and nobody reads or even listens to audiobooks anymore. So you got to get their attention somehow. So that's what I do. I actually show a little picture or a little video or whatever when I'm driving for Uber. I have a screen, on the back of my Uber for passengers, and I
Uh,
give them a cookie, and I give them a pamphlet, and I say, we have a free vegetarian feast, and if you like this cookie, you'll like our free vegetarian feast that we have every Thursday night. I invite them and I give them the pamphlet card, And then if they're
Oh yeah.
amenable, I show them a video of Prabhupada talking about the mantra or the kirtan at the temple. Oh, okay.
Actually,
John just said he just um, texted me, so I'm just going to answer him.
okay.
He just forgot. No problem. Period. Next week. Period. All right.
Uh,
So
Prabhuji, actually, yeah, I was oh yeah, that was at the Rath Yatra, right? The
Rath Yatra.
what was it called?
Rath
Rath
Yatra. Rath means cart.
Ras Yatra, right?
Rath Yatra. Yeah.
Ras
Cart
Yatra.
parade. Rath Yatra means it's actually a pastime of Krishna,
Ah, okay. I
but
remember
they have them
the
all over the world.
ah, I remember like there were like children there. It was like giving out cookies and like pamphlet. Um, I know that it would be helpful for me to like be able to like have pamphlets to like show my friends who are potentially interested in coming to the Kirtan Center and check it out and see what it's like.
I
Um,
can give you some pamphlets. Actually, I have a lot of different Hare Krishna mantra pamphlets. And if I see you at the Kirtan Center, uh, or I can just mail them to you. Send me your address.
okay.
Send
Yeah,
me your
because they'll
address.
be
Text me your address, and then I'll send you some pamphlets because that's what I do as well, and I want to get these out of there. And I'll actually put a little QR code on the pamphlet so they can scan it with their phone, and that'll go to the Facebook group page.
ah
So
awesome.
that's what I do too. I put the QR code on there, so if they scan it, it goes to the Facebook group page, and then if they join the group, then they'll be notified every week of the program every Thursday night. So I'll send you some. Just text me,
All right.
just Facebook Messenger me your address, and I'll send them out to you.
Definitely. Thank you, Prabhuji. Spreading
Yeah, I
Krishna
mean, I'm always,
consciousness.
this is my Prabhu Desh, which means this is the city that my spiritual master has entrusted to me to preach Krishna consciousness. So uh, that means that that's my job. It's he's on Lord Chaitanya's order. He's ordering us to preach Krishna consciousness. So anything that helps that in that way, I'm more than willing to facilitate anybody. And you can do the same thing with you just train somebody up how to teach these verses and talk about Krishna to others and invite them to the Kirtan Center and give them some prasadam and give them a pamphlet, maybe sell them a book. Books are the best, if you have some books. I have some books also that some miniature Bhagavad Gitas, some pocket Gitas, and
Oh.
but you can get those too.
Yeah,
The
I don't happen to have any books. I have the well actually take that back. I have the book, the Bhagavad Gita, as narrated, or what was it, Swami Mukundananda.
Oh
I used
yeah,
to watch his videos, like his version of the Bhagavad Gita. I have that, but
yeah.
I know I want to keep that, of course. Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're gonna stop at Unshaded 203 here and then continue it next week. Unfortunately, nobody was able to come, but that's all right. Two guys is better than one. I don't
That's
even have
right.
a program if nobody shows up, so I'm glad to talk to anybody. And you send me your address, and I'll send you that video, the some pamphlets with a QR code on it. I
All
have a
right.
I have a QR codes are they you have to have a registered account with this company in order to actually create QR codes. So they've monetized all that. It used to be free, but now they want to make money on everything. So,
Of
but
course.
I do have an account with this company, and for preaching purposes, they just point their phone camera at that little box, and you're familiar with QR codes, right?
Yes. Yep.
So I'll put that. I can make up some labels and put them on the back of. I'll give you like maybe a couple dozen pamphlets, and then you can
Okay.
pass them out to friends and invite them to the kirtan, and tell them to join the kirtan, the Pittsburgh Kirtan Center, and then they'll be notified every week when there's a, you know, and you just tell them, if you like free, everybody free is my favorite price because I don't make that much money. I just tell them that. And so if it's free, then the free food is good. Free is my favorite price. So if they like free
Yes.
food and if it's good food too, because prasadam's the best,
Mhm.
then it's our yoga process is threefold. It's not like sitting, pressing your nose or standing in your head or twisting yourself up into a pretzel. We have three aspects of our yoga process: chanting, dancing, and feasting. And what's not to like about that? And it's all free. And so invite people like that,
Exactly.
and then they'll be attracted, and then they'll hear the holy name, and then
Yes.
you know, then they can be delivered from our suffering position here in this material world. Very important.
Indeed.
If you teach people uh, how to do that, we have to duplicate our efforts, because everybody's in really bad shape here in this material world. That's why we're here.
Yes.
My spiritual mentor back in the 80s, he used to say, if you wake up in the morning, you see your face in the mirror, you know you made a mistake because we're here in the material world and this is not a nice place. We're meant to go back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, and we can be with Krishna forever. So thank you for joining. We're
Yep.
just passing like 53 minutes now. So thank you so much, and maybe hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Tuesday, actually. Tuesday was Evie. I don't know what happened to Rana, but
I'm not
well,
sure. I'll reach out. Um, Thank you, Prabhuji. This was
you're welcome.
nice. And also, when I had questions, you're pretty good at explaining stuff. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say.
any kind of question you have, you just text me. You can call me actually if you want to anytime. I'm here most of the time. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, actually, I'm going to have the roof done in the back of our house, so I'll be kind of busy then. But anytime we can make a arrangement so that you can call me if you have any questions whatsoever.
Okay.
But just remember to give me your address and I'll send you those pamphlets.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See you.